In today's lesson, we will study the last concept of object-oriented programming, which is called polymorphism. Polymorphism is a technique in which we implement the same form of thing in more than one way. Poly means more than one and morphism means its shapes. If we see its definition, the word polymorphism means having many forms. Polymorphism means same function name but uses for different types. Its implementation we will do every time according to our requirement. The signature of function will be same every time. It has two types. One is method overloading and second is method overriding. We will see how are they used in Python, whether they support Python or not. First we will see a short example. There are many inbuilt functions of Python which are already overloaded, which we use according to our requirement. I have written a short example of this. Here we have a function. With the help of this we find length of anything. When I am going to print here, print length of, first we have str string 1. I have applied the same function of length on two different things. First I applied on string, secondly I applied it on list. Let's see what will be the output. First time it gave output 18, second time it gave 5. It means the length function is accepting both arguments. First argument is of string type, whereas second argument is of list type. In the first argument, the number of characters is 18, including spaces and special characters. In the second, the length of list is 5. We have seen that built-in function is overloaded. On the base of argument, we check which function is being called. If argument is list typed, then for this will be length function which will be called. If argument is of string type, then if the parameters of length are string type, then it will be called. If I call this function which I have defined, both times I pass different arguments. First time I passed 2, 3. Have to print result also, so print I made function in that I passed 3 parameters and passed z as a default parameter. If I am going to run the function, it will show me first time it returned 5 because our number of arguments were 2 but parameters were 3. We passed a default parameter z which is equal to 0. It means if we have 2 arguments, then it will take the value of third parameter as 0, but if we pass 3 parameters, then it will neglect default parameter. We'll take fresh parameters and will perform the operation. We call the function and on number of arguments it performed computation. If we take the same thing in classes, different classes are being made and we want to see polymorphism in classes. I have 2 classes here. First class is of India and second is with the name of USA. In the first class, the first function is of capital. Second is of language. Same functions we made in second class, capital and language. The implementation of all 4 functions is different. If I take first object obj_ind and call function of capital, it has shown me the output New Delhi is the capital of India. The object of the class which will be written, the function of that class will be called. If I am going to call this function with the help of second object with USA object, then it will give me output of that object which is created by USA. If I want to get the output of all functions together for capital N, we have 2 objects. It has executed both functions at the same time. If in the same loop I want to call the other functions, in the same loop I will pass other functions, capital language. It has executed all functions in this loop. We have learned to execute functions of different classes in a loop with the help of objects.